All right, we're
Live.
here after our bye week for the Empire League podcast. I'm here with Glenn and our guest Brian, who we've been trying to get on for like 3 weeks. How's it going, guys?
It's good.
It's good. All right. Well, we're going to start off with a little bit of news. Glenn has been fired from the podcast.
You can't fire me.
So we're looking for either a new co-host, or we'll have 2 guests on every week, or 1 guest every week. Or another thought I had was maybe like we pick a game of the week, and then those 2 players, those owners come on and duke it out on the podcast. So we're open to suggestions, but Glenn is gone.
I love the cage match idea. I think that's sick. I think everybody should vote on a game of the week and then have those 2 combatants face off in the arena known as the Empire League podcast. I want to hear some trash talk. That's an awesome idea. That one gets my vote, but we'll leave it up to the members of the league.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a popular pick. It's gonna be sweet.
I mean, I don't even have any other ideas, so.
Yeah,
It's like,
I think
it's
I
like
just listed them all.
Trash Talk Tuesday comes to life, man. It's animated. It's gonna.
That was good this week. That was really good. I like that.
Yeah.
That was a sweet segment, and we definitely want to bring that to the podcast and just like have some absolute bloodbaths. I think it'd be awesome entertainment. The league would love it. So I'm psyched. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, me too. I like it a lot. So real quick, we have the voted on poll for the power rankings, which we're getting more and more people every week to submit rankings. But Brian found a whole new spreadsheet on Reddit for us to mathematically calculate the power rankings, and I think the results, they're pretty close to our poll rankings anyway. But it's kind of interesting to see what everyone's opinion is compared to like the mathematically calculated power rankings. So I could post both, power rankings after, and you can compare them. And I don't know, I think it's interesting to have 2 different ways to look at it.
Yeah, this spreadsheet was awesome. I think Brian found it on Reddit, and it's got so much going into it. Like the great teams are in green. It takes into account like your ceiling, which is like your highest point scored. It takes into account your lowest score, and then like your average weekly score, and it does like this algorithm calculates your power ranking score. And honest to God, it's pretty dead on between our rankings, like the league mate submitted rankings, and the spreadsheet. I think 7 out of 10 matched. So
yeah, I want to personally thank you, Glenn, for saving me from having the lowest floor.
Oh yeah, you're very welcome.
Oh yeah,
my team's in the basement right now. Yeah, it's not good. We're just hanging out in the man cave in the basement. So
the coolest stat from this, when I looked it up, is Glenn's average weekly score is only 1 point above Greg's. So I thought that was a fun fact.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's only 1 point. Like almost exactly. It's pretty funny. So I'll post it after this, and we can all look at it, and I'll update it every week. So no, it was kind of cool to see. So we could start off with the everyone's power rankings they submitted. In last place, it's still Greg, followed by a tie for 8th between Mark and Glenn.
Ooh.
Luke in 7th, Griffin in 6th, PJ 5, Hags at 4, me at 3, Brian at 2, and Jeremy still at 1. So not too many shakeups from the week before, really.
Brian's moving up in the world. I mean, I don't know. That's a shakeup. I've always had Brian kind of mid tier, but I think he's got to move up now. So yeah.
You make a lot of comments about 1 in 12 teams.
I know it's been good luck for you, man. I hope you're using it as motivation. I still can't believe it, dude. 1 in 12. and you're crushing it. It's all because of Ezekiel Elliott. It's not all because of Ezekiel Elliott, but he's a huge
mostly 'cause of
factor. It's like you're missing one piece. It's crazy.
Uh,
Just a huge turnaround, man.
so I was looking at the scoring, and this season is like the season of the running back, and that's why my team's doing well. If you look at the points scored, and you put wide receiver, running back, tight end, running backs are at the top. Like
Running
Julio's
backs
not
are at the top, but it's funny, dude. They're not the ones you would expect, you know.
Oh,
And
they're the
you
ones I
you happen to have a few, you happen to have them. Outside of like David Johnson, I mean, Carlos Hyde's doing really well. Ezekiel Elliott's doing really well.
DeMarco Murray's up there. I mean, it's nuts.
I was dead wrong on DeMarco Murray. I admit it. I say it right now. I thought DeMarco was going to be shit this year.
I did too.
I knew DeMarco was going to be good, but not this good. And I thought, boy, I sold him, and I'm really regretting it right now.
Hey,
I got PJ's first. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, but now he's a good team.
But man, dude, yeah, now PJ has a good team. He was like missing. I mean, DeMarco Murray like really pushed him up over the top. He's got a really good team, and I am regretting that trade.
Oh yeah.
PJ's team's not bad.
No, it's not. He's putting up numbers. I mean, he's got 3 pretty damn good running backs. I mean, DeMarco Murray's put up huge numbers. He's got LaShawn McCoy, especially against San Francisco this week. And then Garrett Blount, they've been feeding him the first couple weeks. We'll see if that still happens with Tom Brady back. But
LeGarrette Blount is a hard sell high. That won't continue. I can confidently say that with Tom Brady back, LeGarrette Blount is going to drop off to like his regular inconsistent usage. He'll still have some games like here and there where they utilize him, but James White and Dion Lewis are going to be more heavily involved. Obviously, once Dion Lewis comes back, but they're going to be chucking it all over the place. And like LeGarrette Blount is not going to get the game scripts anymore.
I'm following your logic, but as a Patriots fan, I think the Patriots are going to fuck the other team so hard in the first half that LeGarrette's just going to play garbage time for the second half and score like 20 points.
Yeah, and he's going to get garbage points, running every single down and then touchdowns.
Like every single week, we're going to score 50.
How great can you be though when when you play a half a football game? He'll do
pretty damn good. Did you see him last year?
We'll see. Okay.
I don't know. We've been wrong on every single bold take we've had. So like, I wouldn't.
Can we
Everyone's gonna go off.
Martellus Bennett.
Dude,
I'm so pissed. I should have bid so much more.
What did you bid?
I only bid like $26 or something like that.
I was contemplating bidding my entire 170 points or whatever I had left.
Oh, now you're killing yourself because you should have. I don't know. He might. Don't you think Martellus Bennett might? All right. I'm not talking like a crazy drop off, but a little bit when Gronk comes back, like he'll come back to earth.
Dude, Gronk had more yards. He had 109 yards last week. It's like Gronk's back. Gronk's back. You said that earlier when we were hanging out earlier. You're like, yo, Gronk has sucked. Like, yeah, last week he got 109 yards. He just didn't have the touchdowns.
Gronk's been back for 1 week. You don't think like next week Gronk catches 3 touchdowns and Martellus Bennett?
Did you ever watch it when it was
Gronk
and Hernandez?
I'm curious if Cincy's dumb enough to watch the game film and try to cover Bennett in the end zone instead of Gronk.
Yeah.
And then Gronk gets 3 TDs. But either way, Bennett's still getting 8 targets, 6 receptions, 120 yards. You can't stop
and then
either one.
A bunch of targets in the red zone because I mean they're just gonna run 2 tight end sets like they did with like when we had Hernandez. They're both gonna get
Gronk
receptions.
And we're like number 1 and 2 tight end in fantasy, like 2010, 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. And all right.
And
I see the point. It's gonna be awfully hard to like stop either one in the red zone. It's gonna be ridiculously hard. So. But you have all these other options. You have your short, shifty Julian Edelman who can create space in tight areas, and Chris Hogan, who's also a monster himself. You don't think like they get looks and touches in the red zone too? Like it's not going to be all Bennett and Gronk.
The 10 touchdowns can be spread around as much as it wants. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We're getting wild over here.
I know you hate on me whenever I talk about reading articles or whatever, but when we signed Bennett in the winter, I read this article where this guy literally went through all the things the Patriots could do, and he was like, "There's not a single third down they can possibly not get unless someone drops the ball."
Or they hand it off like a bunch of idiots. Yeah.
Like
No,
because Gronk and Bennett can block, and so if you just play it like that, Hernandez couldn't block, so you've got Gronk and Bennett blocking, and then they either both go, one goes, he switches, then they run it. Like it's just like unstoppable.
It's going to be a great offense for sure. Pretty elite offense. Martellus Bennett is going to be a pretty elite tight end play the rest of the year.
I don't even know who to start for because I have Rudolph, Bennett, and Graham.
Yeah, can we talk about the Jimmy Graham trade? What the fuck happened, dude? He was like done for 2 years.
I thought he was
swoop
done.
him up the week before he breaks out. What, dude? What happened? What did you know?
So I obviously watch a lot of football, but I also talk to Luke a lot, and so our belligerent opinions get thrown back and forth all the time. So when he just talks up Jimmy Graham, I start believing in it. And so like I had this like belief that Jimmy Graham is this elite guy. Doesn't matter if you tear your patellar tendon or whatever the shit. Like when Luke drafted him second overall, he's like, you know that Jimmy's contract is like $8 bajillion a year, right? And you know that Pete Carroll is like probably top 3 coach in the NFL, right? He's like, they didn't trade for him and pay that money to not use him. And that logic was just so strong, I was ready. And Cobb is a fucker. I hate him. I just had to get rid of him. And I know Luke is a huge Packers fan and is garbage as Randall Cobb's been for a year and a half. I was just like, I'll give you Cobb for Jimmy. And he's like, and he proposed it. So the rest is history.
Wow. Dude, I think you made out. I mean, it's kind of tough. I mean, Randall Cobb's still young, but he's been garbage this year. I can understand the frustration. He was wildly inconsistent last year too. But to take a shot,
but still, in like a startup
Jimmy
draft,
Graham.
Randall Cobb's still a second round pick, and Jimmy Graham, if you say he's just like Jordan Reed, who's probably like a 4 or 5 maybe. Like, so I still think you could have got more value for Cobb, but it's worked out. So I can't.
I don't think so. I don't think a
shit for
single one of the other 8 teams would ever trade me Randall Cobb. I can't trade anything with you guys. It's impossible.
Well, I can attest
Well, I don't
to
think
that.
I've ever gotten a trade offer from you.
Have I?
I know
offered
Brian
you?
and I have gotten back and
I
forth
offered
on
you
a lot
Lacey
of
for
things.
Bell when Bell went down.
Say that again?
Oh yeah, but I wasn't ever gonna do that.
See, I think Lacey is literally the best back in the league.
What?
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Let's not talk about fantasy real quick. Do you guys think Eddie Lacy is not like elite?
No,
No.
I don't think he's elite.
I've watched
Eddie Lacy was really, really impressive in 2014. That
he
year,
was so good.
he was absolutely elite. But I just think, I think the tools are there, but his discipline isn't. If you look at him, he's still fat, he's still slow, and he's definitely a tank to bring down, and he breaks tackles that way. And you can see the athleticism like underneath this big hulking body, but he just gets stuffed, man. He's not that quick.
He doesn't get stuffed. You can't.
He does get stuffed.
You can't stuff him. It's impossible. He's averaging 5.5 yards per carry, and he doesn't have any breakaway like runs. He literally just kills people every single time they give it to him. And McCarthy is such an idiot that he only runs it when he puts Lacey in. So they put Lacey in. The entire other team knows that they're going to run it, and he still kills them. In the past 2 games, he's averaging 6.5 yards per carry.
6.5. Okay.
He's an absolute like dog animal, and he'll kill himself to like get into the end zone. But they get within 10 yards, and then Rodgers like throws 4 shit passes, and they kick a field goal. McCarthy is the worst coach in the entire NFL.
Their offense hasn't clicked since 2014, and I don't know what the mix is, because I mean, when they had the play action going and Lacey could actually run when he was like 40 pounds lighter, then they got a lot of play action, and then Jordy could go over the top, and then Randall Cobb was still a 1,200-yard receiver. Like, their offense in 2014 was so good, I don't know what happened.
Nothing's changed.
It's like they've been so awful.
McCarthy's shit. McCarthy's bad, and I don't know. Maybe Rodgers is making bad decisions that he used to not make. Like, for all we know, they could call a run play, or every play action that's supposed to go to Lacey, and then Rodgers just throws it.
Throws it anyway, yeah. So, I don't know.
It's crazy. Rodgers doesn't have like 300-yard games anymore. You know, with like 3-4 touchdowns. It's like his typical stat line is like 260, 270 with 2 touchdowns nowadays. I mean, and you can't put your finger on it because the same personnel is there, like the same head coach is there. It's kind of like mind-boggling, but he's been a funk for a year and a half. And I really don't know why.
Yeah,
but even
and then
Aaron
it's like,
Rodgers isn't all that elite right now.
No, he's definitely not playing like a top 10. Well, I guess there's not that many great quarterbacks, so he's at least top 10.
Yeah, he's top 10
in this league.
Yeah.
There's so many bad quarterbacks.
He's not a top 5 quarterback this year. Big Ben's killing it. Poor Andrew Luck behind freaking Pickett Gate. He's killing it. Brady, he's only played 1 game, but he looked like an animal. We got Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott's quarterback 7 in PPR leagues.
Is he even higher than that, though?
Yeah.
I was just looking. He might be higher than that in points scored. 1, 2.
No, I think he's quarterback 7. And, of course, like Rodgers and Drew Brees.
1, 2, 3.
Week, but
he's quarterback. Oh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, Derek Carr, Andrew Luck, Stafford, Rivers, Dak.
Yeah, that's 7, right?
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, that's pretty sweet, dude.
He's either throwing up 26 or he's throwing up 8.
That's true. He had his first game was a little rough, but I mean, what do you expect of his first NFL start? And I don't know, man. First 5 starts to be quarterback 7 in fantasy is pretty solid. And that's not like he's just chucking it up, throwing interceptions, and he's doing it through volume like Blake Bortles. He's like being smart with the ball without turning it over, and he's quarterback 7. So yeah, he's been pretty special. So
let's talk about Glenn's quarterbacks.
You dropped your quarterback 3 there, Brian.
Me?
I've loved every second of it.
Oh,
yeah,
let's talk about Derek Carr. I read another article about Derek Carr.
Oh, right. He's so good, dude. He's
I read
so
an article, and the guy ripped Derek Carr apart. He was like, this guy is just so mediocre. Just look at the film, like, it showed me all these, like, gifs of, like, shitty Derek Carr plays, and I was like, oh, this guy is garbage. And I was 1-12 last year with Derek Carr as my starting quarterback the entire season, so obviously I had this, like, bias hate to him. I wanted a fresh start.
Yeah.
Stafford did just as good as Carr last year, and I was like, I just want a new player at the top of my, leading my team. And then Kirk Cousins is on the waiver wire, and so I was like, Kirk Cousins is a little bit more consistent, although he hasn't been this year. He's been putting up duds. But Carr was doing the same thing.
No, I picked up Cousins, and then when Derek Carr got dropped, I didn't even notice. Glenn texted me. He was like, yo, Derek Carr's on the waiver wire, and I immediately went and grabbed him and bid like $40 on him, or like 26. And I was like, this dude's mine, and I need him.
I wish I knew you liked him. I would have traded him to you. I thought he had no value because there's so many quarterbacks on the waiver wire.
The thing is, it's so hard to trade. Yeah, exactly. It's so hard to trade a quarterback because there's a million. Like, I could go pick up, who's available and probably at the top.
Tannehill, you can pick up, put him in.
Tannehill sucks.
Hey.
But Eli's on the waiver wire.
You cannot pick up Ryan Tannehill, man. He is garbage. He is absolute.
Dude, I told you to start Hoyer.
He scored me 3 points last week. 3 measly points.
Yeah, how many did Hoyer get?
20.
Yo, Eli's on the waiver wire.
Eli's
You
bad.
can go pick up Eli. So why would you want to trade for?
Giants are straight garbage.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how they have Cruz, Shepard, OBJ. Maybe they're not that good.
So at the beginning of the year, I thought Eli Manning was going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback because he's been decent before, right? With literally just Odell Beckham. Now he has Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, Victor Cruz is back healthy, like actually contributing. So I was like, how can Eli Manning not be great? And he's like the worst he's ever been. It's mind blowing.
Maybe the problem
I
is
mean,
he's not a good enough quarterback to make multiple reads.
He's not a great. I don't know what it is, dude. He trips into the playoffs and then makes a mind blowing run, like plays out of his mind, and then in the regular season he's absolute garbage. Every year he's never been
I mean, did
special.
Eli play out of his mind, or like do the refs help him and his receivers play out of their minds?
Make
It's a
stupid
little bit
fucking
of both,
catches
but
off their helmets.
I remember watching Eli Manning in those Super Bowls, and Eli Manning played out of his goddamn mind.
All right, let's not turn this into a Patriots
All right.
Super Bowl.
No,
All right.
I'm not even
I'm
trying.
a
I don't wanna
belligerent
hear about
Patriots
that.
fan, and I'm not going to say anything coherent. You guys aren't going to take
All right.
anything I say for like.
Okay. No, I didn't mean to go there. I was just saying. I mean,
All right.
it's crazy, like how inconsistent this guy is. So you know what? Let's get into matchups. We have a lot
Let's
of
start with,
we have some juicy matchups this week. It
Let's
should be
start
fun.
with Jeremy and Greg. I think
That's my matchup of the week.
yeah, I saw you posted that. I don't know if that's matchup for the week, but I don't know. I mean, I got Jeremy. Even though Greg's turning around and I'm rooting for him, he knows it. I'm very proud of him this week. He got a nice win, first of the season. I got Jeremy.
Greg's put up 130 points before.
I know.
On me.
Yeah, but Jeremy's put up 144.
Who cares? He has a defense, and he's won his teams. It's defense wins championships for Jeremy this year.
I know it hasn't helped that Julio's been so inconsistent. I mean, even the week where Julio got 40 points, he still lost. But
Jeremy's team's not good. Gurley's not good. And his projection for the finally teams were like, let's stack the box and make Case Keenum throw it because he sucks.
Well, I don't
exactly.
think Gurley's not good. I think Case Keenum's not good.
Scoring's not good.
Right.
Gurley's getting hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
That dude has no chance. Just like Carlos Hyde last year, man, where you were a believer, me and Jared weren't. We were saying, dude, that team is so bad. There's no way like Carlos Hyde can be good. It's the same situation. Like Todd Gurley and Carlos Hyde, they are good, but their teams are so bad. The teams just stack the box, and there's nothing like they can do. So it's really not Gurley's fault. Although it's not doing Jeremy any favors.
Are you guys recording the game right now?
No, I'm watching.
No, I have it on Twitter.
All right. Anyways, no. What do you like? Baker's look at his point average compared to the other teams, and then look at the Vikings' average scoring above every other defense, and that's all Jeremy's team is. He's beating us by an average of whatever the Vikings score over all of our shit defenses.
Yeah, it's hurt him that Hopkins hasn't been for some reason Brock sucks.
Brock has
been fucking awful. He's been feeding Will Fuller, so that's hurt him. I like DeAndre Hopkins a lot, but he has been absolutely garbage and he hasn't done shit till the third quarter. Julio either gets 300 yards or he gets one reception for 16. So his team right now this year hasn't been consistent at all. A-Rob, Blake Bortles has sucked this year, and I love Blake Bortles coming into this year, but he has been goddamn awful.
He's not having huge points, but he scores 15 plus every week. He's pretty consistent.
Hopkins, I think maybe it was the first week.
A-Rob.
A-Rob? Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was the first week. Maybe that's in my head that he didn't get over double digits. But I don't know. It hasn't been consistent.
Baker's team's all wide receivers. He doesn't have good running backs. David Wilson,
David Johnson's dope.
David Johnson, but that's all he has.
The only reason why the Cardinals are semi-decent team right now.
The other running back is Todd Gurley, and he's really talented.
Nah, you need more than one running back.
Well, Deion Lewis is coming back.
Deion Lewis is gonna lose touches to Bennett and Gronk. So.
Yeah, he might. Actually, that's an excellent point. He might not be as effective. Well, one, he's coming off a really serious injury, so he might not be as effective as last year. And then the other thing is, clearly the Patriots have more weapons. So yeah, Deion Lewis might not be more effective, but Todd Gurley's definitely in for some big games. Like he's just that talented. So
Jeremy's just gonna do what he did last year and buy a running back before like the playoffs. Like when he got Mark Ingram and he could overpay for Mark Ingram way more than Mark Ingram's worth. Like if he really needs to, he's got Alshon that he's never gonna start. You could trade him right away for a starting running back.
Yeah, he's got the capital to use it for sure. So Greg or Brian, who do you have in the matchup?
I've got Greg. I've got the bias because Greg. I watched him put 130 points on me, but if he starts the right guys, right? If he starts the right guys, he has a chance to score a lot at receiver with Baldwin and Ty. He's got Luck, who's top 5 quarterback this year in points scored. He's got good running backs, right? Who do you have at running back?
James Starks, Devonta Freeman, Gio Bernard.
Danny Woodhead getting injured, and
running back
had Woodhead. That one hurt his team.
Had Woodhead.
Gio,
yeah.
I take it back. It's over. Game was decided last week. Game was decided at the beginning of the season.
I got Jeremy in this game too, and I want to have Greg, but I can't do it as long as he's starting James Starks.
James Starks.
Dude, Dallas's defense, they stop you don't want to play fantasy players against Dallas's defense. I'm not just saying that as a Dallas fan. Like, go back and look what they did to AJ Green. Look what they did to Odell Beckham. You don't want to start your guys against Dallas, and it's going to be the same.
Jordy now is going to get 40 points.
Jordy's not going to get 40
because we just
points.
jinxed it.
No, Jordy's not going to Jordy's not going to get 40 points, dude.
I think me and Jared have a pretty good matchup this week.
I think so. I was looking at it, and it's pretty damn close. And what sucks is if Terrell Pryor ends up being the quarterback and you get like a second quarterback, and I'm going to be so pissed.
I don't know, actually. I disagree. I think Tyrell Pryor would score more points at
as a wide receiver
than at quarterback. At quarterback, he's a Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. But at wide receiver, he's like a 10, 15 point scorer.
We'll see. It's gonna bank on. It's gonna suck if Dez doesn't play this week for me, I think, and then I gotta figure out my flex. I think that's gonna hurt. I think that's gonna be huge.
I don't know if I like Dez. Has Dak been throwing it deep at all? I know he doesn't really have a target to throw deep, but
not a ton. I mean, I think he would have salvaged the season a lot if he had caught that ball that one game where he just absolutely didn't do shit. So his total points scored hasn't been great. But I think it's just been like a couple like misplays on the sideline. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, C.J. Anderson's going out. Did he get hurt?
Oh, Glenn.
Oh, don't tell me that. Nah, he's going to be fine, dude. He's not even limping, man.
Wait, who scored for San Diego?
Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry? God
yeah,
damn
it. Hunter Henry was such a great draft pick. Who drafted Hunter Henry? Was it Mark?
It was Mark. Mark got him in the second round.
Mark got him?
Mark has Hunter Henry. Drafted him in the second round.
That was a great pick. I got it.
I was jealous.
Excellent pick.
Did he?
I didn't want to talk him up in case I wanted to trade for him later.
No, I did. Why didn't I?
No, you picked Kenny Drake.
Yeah, you got
and
Kenny
then dropped
Drake,
him.
Dude. Terrible pick.
Oh, let me defend that. So I figured that
he's on your team.
You had a Jai. He had a Jai.
So let me defend it. Ready?
Okay.
I figured the second round was going to be boomer bust, right? And at the time, Arian Foster was not on the Dolphins, so Ajayi was the starting back. Kenyon Drake was a dog at Alabama whenever they gave him the ball and not Henry.
Yeah.
And so he was just going to be the backup, and I was just going to use him when Ajayi got hurt or whatever, like he always does, like all running backs always do.
Yeah.
And so it was just an insurance pick because anything else would just be a random. Like, is anybody in the second round doing well?
Jordan Howard, Hunter Henry. Who else? I got to bring up the draft. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know. Those are the first two that come to mind.
Let me see.
You're gonna give some of these guys a little time though, before you can like definitively say whether or not someone's garbage, like a garbage pick, but yeah, those are the top 2 guys right now.
Let's see. Devontae Booker has been all right.
Who has Booker?
PJ, actually. He made a good draft pick. I was kind of pissed when he took him.
There's a lot of hype about
Other than that,
Booker.
I don't know how many of these second-round picks are still on people's teams.
Yeah, I dropped all mine except for Leonte Carew.
Kenyon Drake got dropped and then picked up by Luke and then dropped again. Hunter Henry's still on a team. Mike Thomas, Glenn's Mike Thomas dropped. Braxton Miller, I think, still on Hags' team. Do you still have Leonte Carew?
I still have Leonte Carew, and that's it. I dropped
CJ
Jordan
Procyse
Howard,
got dropped. I dropped Paul Perkins. Griffin dropped Malcolm Mitchell. You dropped Jordan Howard, and then I picked him back up. And then third-round picks, I don't know. Jared Goff's dropped. Paxton Lynch is still on his team. Devin Lucien wasn't even on NFL.com.
Wasn't even in the database.
DeAndre Washington's still on Hags' team, I think. Pharaoh
A lot of hype
Cooper.
on DeAndre Washington, too, and now he's just splitting carries with that other kid.
Jalen Richard.
Yeah. Well, that's because Latavius Murray sucks.
Yeah, he's not the long-term option there.
No. I mean, that's it, though. But, like, pretty much most of the second round and almost all of the third-round players have been dropped by now. And maybe that's because there's better players on the waiver wire. I'm thinking that's a big key on that. But
I got a bunch of trolls on my team.
It is, like, the benches aren't deep enough. There's, like, always people to find on the waiver wire at the beginning of the season. And so people drop the draft picks because they're just not going to contribute right away. Which severely impacts the draft and how important it is. Which is why I'm a proponent of increasing the roster sizes so that your bench actually matters, the draft actually matters. There shouldn't be quarterback streaming and tight end streaming off the waiver wire, which there currently is. So, but I don't know.
Right now, pretty much only first round picks matter. Because
that's all I kept, dude. That's all most people kept was their first round pick, and that was it. So we'll see what the league votes. Hopefully, like, people realize that, like, the draft isn't really like all that useful unless we increase the benches. So, like, we'll see. We'll put up to a vote. But
Jeremy, before he gave up being commissioner, said we were going to 25.
Year. I like that. We'll put it up to a vote for sure, but I'm a big proponent of it.
So next, I guess we'll do Glenn versus Luke for the next matchup.
The number 9 versus the number 7.
Yeah. So this is a pretty hot matchup. I mean, I had a big win against Luke last week because I think that was a must-win for me. But
that was a must-win.
I needed that. But let's see. Who do we got? God damn it. I fucking hate NFL.com.
It's killing you right now?
Opens up ads when I try to open up.
Yeah, I'm just using my phone because the computer sucks. My phone sucks too, but whatever.
Yes. Absolutely garbage. I had to shut off ad block to open it up on Twitter because otherwise they don't let you stream the game.
All right, we got Russell Wilson on Atlanta. Oh wow. So the QB matchup, I'm huge on Russell Wilson this week. I think Atlanta's fake. I don't think they're that good. Like, last year they went 6-0 and then shit their dipes. Like, Seahawks defense is for real. They've been on a streak lately. A lot of the hype online is that Seattle's like, they're just going to stuff Atlanta this week. I'm going to start the Seattle defense. I can't decide, but I'm thinking I'm starting the Seattle defense. I'm that confident that Atlanta's going to, bust. They've done it already.
Well, and then Lamar Miller finally has a plush plus lineup against Indy, which is huge, and maybe Lamar Miller finally get a touchdown,
I don't know.
which I like.
I don't know. I've been a Lamar Miller hater my entire life. So I think
Oh yeah.
Jamal Charles at Jacksonville beats Lamar Miller at Indy.
Well, he's
Oh,
at Oakland. He's at Oakland.
That is like the easiest money
Oh,
I
Oakland.
would ever take.
Oakland's like the
Yeah.
32nd ranked defense and everything. So Jamal
Yeah,
Charles.
they're not
But
that
he's
great.
gonna be but he's coming off like a long-term injury, and Spencer Ware
And
is
he's
like gonna be
still splitting with Spencer Ware.
I don't know. We'll see. Jamal
Yeah,
Charles
we'll
is
see.
for real, but he's gotten injured before he comes back, so it's not like it's going to be slowed down.
And then the thing I think you got to worry about, Glenn, is Antonio Brown's playing Miami. I think all Pittsburgh players, like if you have them in your lineup, you start them because
Sweet, I'm going against Le'Veon
Miami's
this
trash.
week.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, right? I think we have good RB matchups this week. I mean, Zeke versus Bell, pretty
I'm
damn
projected
close.
so far.
Zeke's got a tougher defense.
It thinks I'm going to get blown out of the water.
Oh, no, whoever makes these fucking projections is retarded on NFL.com. It doesn't make any sense. Like the other week, it was like Le'Veon. So, like, Jarvis Landry was projected to outscore Antonio Brown by like
20 points.
5 points. And yeah, it was stupid. It was like, okay, yeah. I don't know who makes up these
Yeah,
projections. Because like James Starks right now
Starks is projected for 17 points this week.
6%.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Antonio Brown is against Miami is projected for 11.9. That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like
CJ
that.
Fedorowicz is ranked for 9 points. Really?
I think that's accurate.
Dude, against Indy, he's been dope the past
He
couple
had
weeks.
8 targets last week. He's been good.
We'll see, but he might not play. I picked him up, and now I don't have enough fucking ads to like do anything else.
That's so dumb. I hate it.
You guys are jumping all
I
over
hate
the
it.
place and not giving like any like picks here.
Oh yeah, we're jumping everywhere.
All right.
So I'm gonna go Glenn. I think you need a win or you're Glenn. Yeah, we said Glenn versus Luke. We started with this. I'm gonna go Glenn because I think you have to win this week or you're fucked.
I think
Really fucked.
Luke wins if Jordan Reed plays, loses if Jordan Reed is actually concussed.
I like that. I like that pick.
I think I win because dude, I've had some bad weeks. I like my matchups this week. I think Russell Wilson, Lamar Miller, and CJ Anderson and Brandon Cooks have extremely plus matchups. I'm really excited about it. And Luke's team has been kind of fake this year, so I think he's gonna start the skid, and I'm gonna start to rise here. So I got myself.
Luke's three starting running backs have been injured this season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's still 4-1, like still killing it. I think he's gonna come
3-2.
back down to earth, and I think it starts now.
No, I think he's gonna go on the up.
Well, not this week.
He's missing Doug Martin and like Charles Sims or whatever, and Jaquiz Rogers always score high points. So once Doug Martin comes back as the starter, he's gonna score. Matt Forte is trash. I don't think he's gonna come back. But Jamal Charles and Doug Martin, and then I traded him Jay Stu, and I know everybody hates Jay Stu except for me and Baker. But I don't know if you guys paid attention to the second half of last year. Jay Stu was scoring like 15 points a week.
He's good. Yeah, but we're not talking about like Doug Martin. Doug Martin isn't back. Like Jay Stu is not playing. Jay Stu actually probably is going to play, I think.
Yeah, so
I don't think he's playing any.
The flex might have Jay Stu this week. I don't know. This game comes down to all the injuries. Like Luke's going to live and die by these injuries. C.J. Anderson and Demaryius Thomas are already out to a hard start here. Got 0.6 and 0.
And then I think AJ versus New England's tough matchup.
It's tough because New England's smart, and they'll just put our second CB and then the safety on him, so he's going to get shut down.
They'll put
this week's
Logan
for Eifert if he comes back.
Yeah, we'll see. I thought he was going to, but then I think he got downgraded again.
Oh, okay. Since he's going to get
But
blown out of the water.
Oh, I hope so.
Did you guys know that me and Luke started the Brady chant? Did you guys know that?
No, we didn't know
When?
that.
So we were
No.
so in 2014. You know how everybody thought the Patriots were garbage.
Yeah.
The tickets were so cheap because everybody thought the Patriots were bad. Now this was after the first 4 games that me and Luke
After
are,
Kansas City.
yeah. And so me and Luke are sitting there, and it's the night before the game, and tickets were like $80 for like really good seats. And so we bought tickets and we went there. Luke got plastered out of his mind. He's never been so drunk in his entire life, and he was just. Brady starts lighting it up, and we knew he was going to light it up. That's why we went. And he just leans over the railing. He's not even a Patriots fan, and just starts screaming, Brady! And the entire stadium, literally like on the news, was screaming Brady. I swear we started that.
That's phenomenal.
Luke started it for real. Like he was like hanging off the railing and just screaming it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, that's sick. That's something like you guys will never forget. That's awesome.
That's awesome. But all right. So next matchup, I think this is game of the week. Is this is the one where like Glenn and I before we started recording were like talking about this for a long time. We're like, shit, like it could go either way. Like I don't know. Both those guys have good matchup. Like their players have plus matchups this week. It can go either way. If like PJ doesn't start Anquan Bolden, I think he wins. But right now I got
Why do you
Hags.
hate Anquan Bolden?
I just think-
I mean, I just don't think, even though like Golden Tate sucks, it's just like the Marvin Jones show right now, and I don't think Anquan Bolden gets enough targets to be fantasy relevant as a starter.
Why isn't he starting Macklin at Oakland?
That's what I was gonna say.
Jared's getting at.
When did I have that exact same point?
Yeah.
It's like right before. It's like Jeremy. If he starts Jeremy Macklin, I have PJ this week. But he wasn't, so I was like, oh, right now I got Hags. But
I agree. If Macklin starts, PJ wins. If he doesn't start, I've got Hags.
I mean,
I have PJ, and I'd have PJ even more if he started Macklin. Like he's making it really close for me because he's not starting Jeremy Macklin. But we'll see. I think Ben Roethlisberger, LaShawn McCoy, and DeMarco Murray and Kelvin Benjamin just have crazy good matchups.
yeah. The only thing is,
on the flip side, B. Marsh, Larry Fitz, and Greg Olsen have awesome matchups this week.
I mean, I think I could easily see Olsen outscoring Gronk this week just because they're playing New Orleans, and that game's gonna be a shootout because Carolina's like secondary is trash.
Yeah, and B. Marsh is gonna blow.
And so if Carolina, whoever New Orleans puts their one corner on, I think both of them will score kind of
ton.
close to each other.
Yeah. So I think this is game of the week. Like Glenn and I had the most heated debate I think before this, but it came down to Jeremy Macklin starts over Anquan Bolden. I think PJ's got it, but it's a close game. I think that one's gonna be the closest, except for I still think Yeldon sucks, but he's playing Chicago, so maybe he scores. I don't really know.
Is Chris Ivory back?
Yeah,
he's been back, but he hasn't been good either. So both of them have sucked. I don't know if Chris Ivory's fully healthy, so we'll see how that goes. But I don't want to drop him yet.
What do you guys think about Tevin Coleman? He's the 7th scoring running back on my bench.
I know it's ridiculous. Glenn and I were looking into this, and I was trying to figure out what position each one. After the Saints game, I was like, all right, Tevin Coleman's the goal line back. And
I know, but he's not.
Freeman's the 3 down back until they get into the red zone. But then it flip-flops. And then I was looking for Denver, and I was like, okay, so Devonta Freeman has 88 rushing yards, and Tevin Coleman has 132 receiving yards. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, I can't figure out what their role is, which I think I don't know.
Dude, they don't have roles.
Right.
This is what I was saying. They both play all roles 50% of the time, and they're both really good at it.
Yeah, it's good coaching.
Tevin Coleman is sick, man. Way better than Eddie Lacy. You should be starting him. I'm sorry. I wholeheartedly believe that. whatever you want to do
Yo,
is fine. But like, I would absolutely be
playing
starting
Brian this
Tevin
week.
Coleman.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. I'm playing Brian.
Not that my team's been great. I hate it, dude. I
I'm
want to
starting.
be
I
like.
think
I love Lacey so much.
I know,
it's
dude.
so.
I know
I think
you
it's
do.
good for Atlanta. I think it's good for both of those players too, because they're both fresh like the whole time. Because it's like, oh well, Devonta Freeman just had a long run for 40 yards. We're putting Coleman, and they both go off, and they split pretty much 50-50. So they're both like fresh the whole time. It's good for Atlanta, and I think it's good for both. I mean, it kind of sucks that for Greg that okay, Devonta Freeman last year had a couple games where he got 40 points in a row. It was insane. The second half of the season, though, he trailed off. So maybe he gets consistent points this whole year because they're both splitting 50-50. I don't know, but I was trying to convince myself which one I like better, but they're both good.
Hey, I mean, they're both good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Freeman's been a little bit more consistent, but it doesn't matter. They've both been unreal. I mean, if you started you could have had both of them on your team and started both of them against New Orleans that week and won wholeheartedly because they combined for 70 points.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. You guys like Tevin Coleman more than Eddie Lacy?
Right now, yeah,
I do,
absolutely.
I think.
Really?
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, you have four pretty solid running backs. I mean, I wouldn't mind having Eddie Lacy as my RB3. That's for sure.
He's my RB4.
Yeah, he's your RB4 or 3. It's nuts. I mean, Zeke was a huge boost to your team. Unreal. I mean, he's making arguments for being the number 1 overall back in fantasy. I mean, it's between him, David Johnson, Todd Gurley, and Bell.
And Lacy.
And maybe Lacy.
How can you not give the ball to a guy who would get a first down every 2 touches?
Yeah, I mean, he's bigger than the defensive tackles who are going to try and tackle him if you run straight at him. So, I mean, how are you going to stop him?
Also, the box was never stacked because they had to respect Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
mean, you've got
understand why
Jordy
he's not
Nelson.
scoring 30 points every game.
I don't
Because
get
he's not that good, man.
Dude, he's so good.
I will admit I haven't seen him all season long, but I did watch him last game, the Monday night game, and he went out early, but he was 11 rushes for 80 something yards. It was good. It was pretty good.
Nasty.
But I didn't feel like he played particularly well. He had he had holes, man. I don't know. I can't even say that because it doesn't matter. 11 for 80 is really good. So yeah, I will admit he was playing well that game.
And the game before, he had the same stats. He had 6.5 yards per carry. He had 100 yards on 10 touches.
He's so fat he can't handle more than 10
not
touches.
fat.
That's why Starks keeps going in.
The thing is, though, so he gets all those yardages, and unless he kind of lives and dies by the touchdown. So yeah, that 10 points, I'll take that definitely as a flex spot. But
What's
he
his
doesn't.
lowest scoring game?
Yeah.
I think he's
Dude,
done awesome.
He doesn't catch the football either. That limits his ceiling.
That's what limits his.
That's
But if he gets a
McCarthy's
touchdown,
problem, not Eddie Lacy's. Eddie Lacy catches footballs and then truck sticks people.
I don't know, man. He doesn't get a lot of catches.
If he gets a touchdown, he has a great week.
Before.
No,
But
he's a
it's not
great flex play because I think Eddie Lacy pretty much every week guarantees you 10 points, and then if he gets a touchdown, then you're at 17, pretty much. That's how Eddie Lacy works. He doesn't really catch the ball, but he just runs and gets 100 yards every game.
I agree. Okay.
So where are we on now? I think we're on Mark versus
Tevin
Griffin.
Coleman's points are insane, and they're all on my bench.
When you gonna learn?
I'm gonna
No, shut up.
Put a goose egg up.
Shut up.
They're playing Seattle. This is not the week to
This is a bad week for me to be giving Brian any fantasy advice.
No, actually, maybe you should give him advice, and then if he takes it, usually everything we say is wrong. So, yo, start all these good guys. All right, so Mark versus Griffin.
Should I trade Tevin Coleman for some elite guy, or you guys don't trade, so it's not possible?
I'll trade for Tevin
I mean,
Coleman.
I try
You
and
want to
trade,
take
but
it offline?
nobody ever answers my trades. What I try to propose. So we'll see. I don't know how much I want to give up for Tevin Coleman, but
Exactly. Even though he's like the number 7 running back.
I know, but he's
Not
in a
just the number 7
timeshare.
running back. There's no wide receivers close. He's the number 7 scoring, like flex, like wide receiver, running back, tight end.
I know, but it's like I don't want to pay for in a dynasty league. I want to try and build around wide receivers, so I don't want to trade a wide receiver for a running back.
I hate
even
that
though
philosophy. Me and Glenn duked it out about that, and all of his receivers are hurt.
I don't know if it's about injury, but I think they just last longer in general. So, like, as a running back, I think they probably have like a 3 or 4 year window where they're a stud, and then after that, you need to sell them because they're going to fall off a cliff.
I mean, Griffin was starting
So-
Frank Gore and Jaquiz Rogers.
Yeah, that's true. There's obviously exceptions, like AP, even though this year he like fell off a cliff and is hurt. But like AP did it forever. Frank Gore has done it forever. I mean, so there's definitely like exceptions, but you know, how many other running backs that like I drafted Jeremy Hill in the 3rd fucking round after he had a stellar year and he sucked. So it's like hard to get one that just hits. Like you're putting so much money into
Jeremy
like
Hill.
in capital into draft him high.
But he does suck.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, I had Griffin over Mark this week. Speaking of Frank Gore.
I hate Griffin's team.
I know you do.
I didn't even think about which tight end to start because I looked at his roster and I was like, there's no way I lose this. And the only reason it was close is because Bill's defense scored 17 points.
Yeah, I think he's hurting that running back. I think last week he had Mark Ingram on a bye, which kind of sucks, but
I mean, Jaquiz scored as much as Mark Ingram's been scoring.
that's true. I mean, that's because like John Kuhn has vultured all the touchdowns for the Saints. I don't know what's going on there.
I like Ingram. Ingram's great. I don't like Gore.
Yeah.
Gore's like on the team that they've never had a 100-yard game in how many years?
Oh yeah,
So-
their running game. I mean, their offensive line is the worst in the league. I mean, they're gonna kill Andrew Luck.
You can't have 2 tight end sets. He's got Delaney Walker and Kelsey starting. That's
It sucks. It sucks when you're flexing a tight end.
you can't flex a tight end.
Yeah.
Griffin's getting screwed by OBJ. OBJ should be scoring way more than he is, and he's not consistent. I guess he's putting up 12, 15, but he's not putting up those like 25-point games.
Oh yeah, that he was before. I
And
mean, like we
there's
said,
nothing you can do about it. You have to start Beckham. Like it's not like he's gonna start anybody else. So
yeah, Marvin Jones has helped him this year. I think he didn't get as many points as he was last week, but Marvin Jones has been all of a sudden like rejuvenated.
I like Will.
Pretty
I like
much,
Will Fuller much better than Travis Kelce on the flex. I don't know why he's not.
Yeah, especially against Indy. But
Especially
Brock has been fucking awful. Like the Texans have just fallen. Like the Patriots murdered him.
Yeah.
So, and then Glenn, who do you got?
Yeah, I like it's close, but I like Griffin this week. Yeah, man, I really like the whole. I don't know how much I like Mark Ingram, but Mark Ingram like always has a decent floor. So even against like a tough Carolina rush defense, I think Mark Ingram's going to be okay. I love Drew Brees this week, and I don't know, man. I can't get over the fact that Mark is starting Matt Jones against Philadelphia. That's a nightmare matchup. Talk about yard per carry average. Matt Jones averages like 2.5 yards per carry. He's just the worst running back in the NFL.
Didn't you have Matt Jones?
Yeah, he traded a Matt Jones.
Yeah, I traded a Matt Jones.
What'd you get?
Yeah, it was like Matt Jones and what was it, Martavis Bryant or something like that? I forget the trade.
Devontae Adams for Brandon Cooks.
What?
Oh, that
Yeah.
was fucking ridiculous. I was
That was
so
last
mad.
year.
I sent him a trade, and thank God he didn't accept it for like Keenan Allen and Jarvis Landry for Brandon Cooks. He turned it down, and then he accepted it for Matt Jones and fucking
Dude, Matt
Devontae
Jones had
Adams.
just got off on a 120-yard game, like his first game in, and I was like, bam, I'm out.
That's why I want to sell Tevin Coleman, but you guys don't trade. I guess Mark does. Mark just drops elite players.
I like, dude,
Yeah,
me
he
and
does.
Brian talk trades all the time. Yeah, Mark just drops elite players. But like our mindset are so different. Like I don't know if they just like don't match. I don't know what it is. Like two totally different fantasy philosophies. And it's working out for Brian a lot better this year. So,
I can't even imagine what my team would be if I had DeMarco Murray after trading me. You offered DeMarco for my first-round pick, just
Yeah.
like CJ.
Yeah, but then you'd be in that issue again where I have so many running backs
I don't even know who to start where.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, but
Yeah,
I think the
running backs get
matchups are
injured,
just
so.
just too tough for Mark to get over when it all comes down to it. I mean, Griffin's matchups aren't all that great, and he's flexing a tight end.
yeah, but then you look at Melvin
He's
Gordon.
got to
and
edge
he's
him out. I just think he's going to edge him out.
Wait,
I mean,
how
Matt
far are we into
Jones
this
is
game?
trash.
We're at quarter and 5 minutes.
Melvin Gordon's only got 1.9 points. How far are we into this game? Because
Guys, Melvin Gordon is trash.
No, Melvin Gordon's going to be pretty good, dude. We weren't patient enough with him.
Melvin
He looks
Gordon.
good, dude. He doesn't have an offensive line, but if they draft him,
Let's talk about yards per carry. Melvin Gordon the past 3 games has been like less than 2 yards per carry.
yeah, but how shitty is their O-line too? It's the same thing with Todd Gurley.
Yeah, less than 2 yards per carry, but 3 broken tackles in the backfield. Like just watch the guy. He's like vastly improved, and his headset's there because he was working out with Adrian Peterson in the offseason. Like it shows you that this dude wants to get better, and he's been way better this year. Like I can only see this guy like getting better as his career goes on, and their offensive line is atrocious. He's doing it behind a terrible offensive line, so he's not bad. He's not bad.
He's bad.
I don't know.
He's finishing outside the top 10 running backs this year.
Wait, did I pick Glenn? Can I switch this?
Probably will. Yeah, but I don't think that's such a bold statement either.
All right, he's finishing out the top 20 this year.
Yeah, that's a little bolder. Okay. All right. I think he's a top 20 running back for sure. So, okay. That's a good mark. Jared, what do you think? Is Melvin Gordon a top 20 running back this year?
Probably. If he stays healthy, that's the big question.
It's a question for every player.
Right now,
let's assume
he's playing
healthy.
pretty much every down. He's been playing every down, and there's nobody to compete with him in San Diego.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right.
I would say yeah, he's probably top 20.
Yeah, I like him as a top 20 back too, but yeah, we'll see.
I don't even think I can name 20 running backs. So.
Yeah, that's exactly why I was like, oh, who else like is a 3-down like starter on other teams? So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, by default, he's gonna be like pretty good.
By default, he's gonna be in because there's only 32 NFL teams. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I guess we got the last matchup, which is me versus Brian, and I think this could be a pretty damn good game. But I got Brian this week.
Wow, is that because you're always wrong?
A little bit. But we'll see. I think I'm having trouble with Ryan Tannehill sucks. So even with Jarvis Landry, the guy is supposed to help him out. Like, I don't know what Ryan Tannehill did last week, but he was getting hit like every play. Like, I don't know what he did to the offensive lineman on the Dolphins, but he didn't protect him at all. And Jarvis Landry, the guy is supposed to catch all the slant dump offs to like protect him. And it's just like, I don't know. Ryan Tannehill completely sucks. I don't know what's going on. If Adam Gase can't fix you, like he needs to go. Even though he just said he's going to be the starter for the rest of the year.
You've got me at the quarterback position. Running backs are
pretty close, and I think I have better matchups. So we'll see. But I think wide receiver I'm having issues with. We'll see if Dez plays. I think if Dez plays, I have a better shot. Otherwise, I got to figure out who I'm
How
flexing.
about defense? You guys want to talk about defense? I can't figure it out. I haven't scored more than like 6 points on defense. Every week somebody puts
Dude,
20.
I thought the Cardinals were going to be so good based on last year because Jeremy had them and they were dope. Because somehow he always picks the defense that scores the most points, and then he just happens to pick the Vikings up before the season ends, and then just keeps them.
Insider
I
trading,
don't know.
man.
I never talk about the defenses. It just doesn't.
I don't know what to do about him. Like every single week, like even ask Glenn. Glenn started Raiders, got -1 point. You might as well not start his defense.
I try to stream them just like you, dude, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Like, it's a fucking crapshoot. That's why. And
That's why I don't even stream him. I just picked up the Eagles in the bye week.
you're just gonna kill
They
me.
gave me so much shit.
Here's how crazy it is. I have the Vikings defense in a redraft league. They're on bye this week, and I'm gonna start them because I'm not prepared to drop the Vikings defense, dude. I'm not going through that. Like, I'm just gonna take the 0. Which I'd probably get if I picked up another defense anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You might get -4 if you pick up a different defense.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like,
Yeah.
well, the thing is, now I've already had 2 ad drops, so it's like, even if I wanted to get rid of the Cardinals, like, I can't.
True.
So what the fuck? Like, they're playing the Jets, so hopefully Fitzpatrick throws like 12 interceptions like he always does apparently this year, but
It's still
I don't know.
fairly early. I mean, stuff can turn around. I mean, you can't dismiss like some of what we've seen. I mean, clearly, like a lot of this stuff is facts, but I don't know. I still think the Cardinals defense can turn it around.
It's the defensive touchdowns that kill me. Why do so many defensive touchdowns happen against me? Like,
I don't know.
every week, somebody else's defense scores like multiple touchdowns against me. I can't believe it. It's like the Seahawks keep the other team to like a 3-point game, get like 4 sacks, and I've got 8 points. And then the other team has 25 because they have 3 defensive touchdowns.
Patrick Peterson
Yeah.
is going to house one on Monday Night Football. Like just 100. I'm going to go with
Who are they playing?
It's going to be a kick return.
Touchdown, punt return, touchdown. Yeah.
Jets. You've got Hyde. Yeah, if you throw 6 picks, one of them's going to the house.
Yeah. So
Yeah, something. It's going to be like Kansas City.
It's going to be crazy. Yeah, I like Jared. I just think the matchups are really tough for you this week. Carlos Hyde against Buffalo in Buffalo. He's shown to be fairly matchup proof.
Well, I don't know.
Even when they're losing, they don't.
Yeah,
Even when they're losing, they don't give a shit.
They give him the ball.
Yeah, he's played tough defenses and gotten shut down, and actually he just scores in the garbage time. And so if they lose so bad to Buffalo that I get the garbage time touchdowns, that'd be cool. But Carlos Hyde is stoppable. He's not. I mean, he's just like he's human. If that's all you have.
I would do.
I can't believe how much
you know what? I would. The garbage time touchdowns are coming. Like I've got him in another league. I will not be benching Carlos Hyde.
I mean, that's why Jordan Matthews was like a semi-decent wide receiver last year.
Yeah, all the garbage time. But
he just got every single ball.
His toughest challenge of the year too against Green Bay, whose front 7 has actually been really tough.
Wait, I've got a question about that. Is the Green Bay front 7 good? Or is their backfield so bad that nobody runs because they can just score touchdowns on the backfield?
I have no idea.
Shields is so who's in the backfield?
Still out?
Shields hasn't even been playing.
They didn't sign Casey Hayward. He's on the Chargers now.
Yeah.
I can't name the 2. Oh, their safety playing cornerback. Micah Hyde is playing cornerback.
Yeah.
And they've got HaHa, who's okay, but. There's nothing back there. I don't know who their linebackers are because half their linebackers just blitz. And so maybe the other teams are just going to dump it off. And so.
Well, you just let Clay blitz on every single play.
There's never been a running back like that has needed to run. So maybe Zeke does poorly because they throw to Dez and I'm fucked. But
I don't think Zeke's poorly, but I don't think it's going to be his best game. I think it's a tougher matchup, but Zeke and the Cowboys offensive line is like even better than Green Bay's front 7. So it's still going to be a good game. It's just going to be a tougher one. But I mean, like for those reasons, like Eddie Lacy has a really tough matchup against the Dallas defense, which has been surprisingly stout. And yeah, they have. They've shut down AJ Green. They shut down Odell Beckham, and they've been shutting down the run too. They're like a surprising. They don't create turnovers, so they're not a fantasy defense. But like the fact that they run the football so much, and they like play keep away, they're not giving up fantasy points to opposing teams.
I don't know. I just need Emmanuel Sanders to keep sucking this game. I don't know what's going on with the Broncos.
I have no idea.
Like they have like no
points. Past the line of scrimmage.
Speaking of the Broncos, like I gotta go watch this game. My brother's over. I've been hanging out with you jabronis on the.
This has been a good podcast. I think we've had a lot of random ass shit we've talked about.
It's been
this is a good one.
But yeah, my brother's over. I've been a terrible host.
There's CJ Anderson losing some points, getting hit behind the line.
Fuck you, dude. I can't even see this shit.
I don't
want to get my news through Brian anymore. So I'm gonna have to sign off right here. Yeah, great podcast.
Sounds good.
It's been awesome. I'll be back on it soon. But I'm not gonna be here every week.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, maybe you'll see me next week. I'll hit Jared up if I have free time for the podcast for sure. But like, I won't be an every week like main point of the podcast anymore. So I don't know if you guys care or not. You probably don't. You probably think we'll see. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm out. Later, guys.
All right, thanks for having me, guys. Later.
All right. See ya.
Bye.